All right, good evening, everybody. Tonight, we'll start off with the Public Safety Committee meeting. Commissioner Brockington is excused this evening, and Vice Chair Commissioner Lewis is going to take the lead on this meeting. So take it away, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Greetings, everyone. Tonight's public safety meeting is being called to order at 7:36 p.m. Agenda item number 1 is the receipt of the public safety reports. 1A, Police Chief. Chief Slavin, are you on or?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Attached is the, attached is the report for the November 2024 public safety report. Does anyone have any questions?
There it was. Dave? Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm sorry. Did everybody get that?
We heard you. Any questions? Are there any questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Commissioner Ziegmanfeld.
So, Chief, I do have a question that goes with the continuing bus patrol violations. I'm wondering if there are also a number of citations and tickets that are handed out that are not being done through the third party, but are being done by our street officers who are in proximity to the schools.
Some of that activity would be counted in our total number of citations issued with that. The bus patrol numbers, as you know, have gone down slightly from our peak last conversation. We've held a press conference and we've amped up our social media advertising with that as well. I met with a representative, John Fennell of Napoleon Nelson's office this week to ask for their assistance as well. As you know, I reached out to the Philadelphia City Councilman's office as well to get the word out regarding this program, and that Cheltenham and Montgomery County Police Departments will be offering this program. Other departments in our area will also be participating in this program as well. I know Abington's close to moving forward with onboarding, and I believe Upper Dublin is also considering becoming a part of this program as well. So I'm hoping, once again, my hope in all this is that these numbers go down still. So we're going to keep our foot on the gas with that, including having our officers out there during our school hours of pickup and drop off, especially are the peak times I'm concerned with the most.
Thanks, Chief.
Go ahead, Chief. You have anything else that you wanted to add?
No,
Yeah,
Matt has a
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Yes, Mr. President.
Thank you, Chief. I noticed in the police dailies that there was a series of I guess they're citations involving the sale of tobacco to underage patrons, and I was wondering. And I noticed there were a number of those sort of in a short period of time, and I was wondering if that's an initiative that the department took, what prompted it, and if you could talk a little bit about what prompted it and what the results were. I'd appreciate that.
Absolutely, sir. This was something that was in the works. It's called Compliance Check, and it deals with businesses that sell tobacco products in Cheltenham Township. We began looking at this probably late summer, early October is when the last time I remember we spoke to them about it. Subsequent to that, I met with Commissioner Rappaport, Mr. Bill Taylor, William Taylor from the NAACP, Jonathan White from the Cheltenham School District, Wendy Rosenfeld from CTC, regarding this issue and the sale and the possible sale of tobacco products to underage kids. So I passed that information on to this group. They had a concern about it as well, that we were participating in this compliance check program. And in the end of December, there was a 2-day period where they went to every business in our town and conducted these compliance checks to see if they were identifying, asking for ID to ensure that that person was 21 years of age when they were trying to purchase cigarettes. There were 21 violations issued in our township. There is a follow-up meeting scheduled with Commissioner Rappaport, Mr. Taylor, and Wendy Rosenfeld from CTC regarding the numbers and next steps and initiatives that we can look at moving forward to be proactive with this. So this is something that was on our radar. The timing was right. We were looking at it, and then we were approached by the group and asked to see what we were doing about this issue. And it just so happened we had this lined up. And this is periodic. It's a random compliance throughout the year. These are done at random times. They involve underage kids going in and trying to make purchase of these things. And again, the onus is on the business to ask for identification when they sell these products. And the 21 businesses that were cited were cited for failure to identify or ask for ID for a person purchasing underage.
Yeah, thanks for that, Chief. Thanks to Commissioner Rappaport and to the Cheltenham Communities That Care for their work. And hopefully these businesses, take the lesson and do the right thing when carding folks for
Yes,
cigarettes.
there's one other leg of this, obviously, is the adjudication part. It will be adjudicated at our district court level, so they'll have their day in court as well. So that's still forthcoming on that, but we did issue the 21 violations.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Commissioners, any other questions? Chief, you have anything
I just
else
have
like
just
that?
a couple brief things real quick, if I may, while I have the floor here.
Yes.
I know you're a busy night. We have our Pennsylvania reaccreditation coming up January 23rd in Harrisburg. I'll be representing the police department there. We'll be picking up our 5th reaccreditation from the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association there. A lot of work goes in it, as you well know, with your support. We were able to do this. This is our 5th accreditation, our 4th reaccreditation, and this is our part of our efforts to maintain professionalism in our ranks, practicing the best business practices in law enforcement, and providing the best services we can to our community. So this is a feather in our cap. I'm proud of this accomplishment, and I will be attending along with my staff on the 23rd as our representative there. In addition to that, we've had some progress on new hires. We have 2 new candidates that started the police academy in the beginning of January. I'm going to bring them to the Board of Commissioners meeting to introduce you to them as well. We have 3 new hires that will be sworn in, will be sworn in at the Board of Commissioners meeting coming up next week. I'm very happy with the caliber of individual we're attracting to our department, and I think you'll be pleased when you get to meet these individuals one-on-one. So that'll be next week at the Board of Commissioners meeting.
Good. You good? You good, Chief? Commissioners, any other questions for the chief? Seeing none, I call for the acceptance of the police chief report for November 2024. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 1B, Fire Marshal, Mr. Lynch. How are you this evening? If there's anything you'd like to add to your report?
Good evening, everyone. Is there any questions on my submitted report for now? I do have a couple things to add. Okay.
I don't see any. Why don't you move on with
All right, seeing them, we'll move on. So since December 1st to date, there's been 8 fires in the township, with fires being hose off the truck, hose in the street, and property damage. We had another small fire today on Cruising Lane from carelessly discarded ashes. So I'm putting something together. I'll work with Allison's approval, and we'll get it to Lauren and get it on the web page. For no real update on last Thursday from Anselm Road. I have met with the insurance adjuster out there. I have met with their large loss person out there. I've met with their fire investigator out there. There is going to be additional inspections. They're putting people on notice, and this is going to go on for a couple more weeks. I kind of beg the insurance guys to get this done as soon as possible so we can start the rebuild and get these people back in their home. That's our update in a nutshell for now. And I'm working, believe it or not, I'm trying to find a time, but I'm working on trying to put a year-end extensive report together for you as far as the fires from 2024 and things like that. So that's all I have, unless there's questions.
Thank you, Mr. Lynch. Commissioners, any questions?
I got one more thing. Commissioner Rappaport, I did get your email. I haven't forgotten you, what you asked for. I promise I will get that to you by the end of this week. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you.
And yeah, just I have the information I need. The only other remaining question is, how is the firefighter at a different fire who was injured from Winmore, I guess it was?
Yep. That was past Sunday night on Arboretum Road. Apparently it's a mild concussion and a broken leg. So I did speak with the chief. He had appointments today with orthos, but I haven't heard from the chief of Winmore as to exactly the course of action they're going to take with the leg. But
Well,
I
please
will.
do share the township's appreciation for for his rising to our occasion, and our appreciation and best recovery wishes.
You got it. I will take care of that. Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners. Any other questions? Seeing none, I call for the acceptance of the fire marshal report for November 2024. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Emergency medical services. Ms. Bartow, is Ms. Bartow here?
Yes, she is.
She's here. I think she just got a call.
Oh, okay,
So
we
we'll
can move.
Well, let's,
Wanna
we
go
could
to
give her a
the-
second to see if she wants to come on, if she's able to get on.
Okay,
Yes, I'm here, just not on video. Does anybody have any questions about my submitted report?
seeing none.
No, there's one
Yes.
here.
Commissioner Ziegmanfeld.
Oh, okay. Help me out, because I can't see everything, so if
Okay.
somebody could help me
Hey,
out.
Dwight, I thought you were just ignoring me.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
Jess, I do have a question about the 2025 membership numbers. I saw the revenue stream is in the 24,000 range. How many members is that? And then the other thing is, how does that compare to the last couple of years in terms of the number of people who are, making the commitment to at least make sure that they're covered, particularly for the potential for ambulance rides, et cetera?
So I think that there may have been a accounting error. I went through because I too saw the numbers that I put out there, and they didn't seem right to me. So I looked according to the billing company that is providing the service for us. The number is actually about $35,000 more than
Oh, awesome.
what we had budgeted. So I think that unfortunately both the membership and our payments for ambulance services come from the same company. So I think that some of those may have just been put into the wrong account line item, and I provided that information to our accounting department today. So they're looking into it as we speak. Like I said, it's probably just a matter of, oh, this went into third party instead of membership. But according to what the billing company has provided to us, we actually have, we are at $105,000.
Oh, well, that's a great increase. That's,
Yes.
terrific. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's great, and we're excited, and hopefully it'll keep going that way.
Excellent. Any other questions for Ms. Bartow? Seeing none, I call for the acceptance of the emergency medical services report for November 2024. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief Bartow.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Emergency Management Coordinator, Mr. Hellendahl, are you there?
I am here. Good evening.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you. Same. Happy New Year.
Same to
If
you.
anybody has, I have one thing, if there are any questions on the report. I just wanted to pass on our thanks again, and I'm not going to read the whole letter, but for the fire on Anselm Road, I can tell you, being there for 6 hours, it was really cold. Kim made a phone call to Public Works, who brought out the new police department van, the communications van. They brought it out, they delivered it to us. I drove it back to the yard, but didn't have a key. And by the time Joe O'Neill got down there in the morning, it had been gassed and put away. And the spirit of cooperation, I just want you to know how special that is. And I want to read you the last paragraph of the letter that Joe sent to Bo. It said, I recently attended a Montgomery County emergency management meeting where someone brought up that they thought it was a good idea to start working with their public works crews to assist during emergencies. I stood up and explained that we've been doing it for several years in Cheltenham Township, and their cooperation is invaluable. Thursday was just another example of everyone working together to provide service to our community. So I just wanted to pass on my thanks to Bo. We work so well with them. We're so used to it. And when we go other places, they look at us like we have four heads because it's not happening. It's a special relationship. It is great. That fire was devastating and everybody worked together. So I just want to pass on my compliments and let you know how special that is. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Hellendahl? Seeing none, I call for the acceptance of the Emergency Management Coordinator's report for January 2024. Is that correct?
Should be 25, right, Ken?
It should be 25.
Yes, 25.
Okay. Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. In the spirit of what Mr. Hellendahl was just reading to us, I too want to thank our public safety leaders and your teams for all the great work that you do on behalf of Cheltenham Township and the spirit in which you do it. So thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 2, receipt of committee meeting minutes. The fire board did not meet in December. The traffic calming committee report for December 10, 2024. Commissioner Rappaport, in the absence of Commissioner Brockington, is there anything you wanted to add to that report? Hey, Commissioner Rappaport still with us? All right, commissioners, any questions on the traffic calming committee report? Seeing none, I call for the acceptance of the traffic calming committee report dated December 10, 2024. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Old business. Is there any old business? Any old business? Seeing none, we'll move to new business. 4A.
Yeah,
Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 285, Vehicles and Traffic, Section 285-43, Street and Parking Regulations of the Cheltenham Township Code to amend traffic regulations to ADD handicap parking in front of 1705 Erlin Road, Elkins Park. Anyone want to speak on that? Any questions? Commissioner Rappaport, thank you.
yeah, and first of all, I'm sorry, when you were calling on me before, I had another interruption, so
Okay.
sorry about that. Yeah, I have a question on both this and B. Both Commissioner Brockington and I have at different times asked about the payment that the applicant has to pay for getting a handicap sign, and yet anyone with the sticker can use the parking spot. So I think the police were going to look into, or somebody was going to be looking into ways to handle that seemed fairer to the applicants. I just didn't know if there was any progress on that.
Commissioner, if I could just comment on that. I was asked to explain what the fee involves. That's a township approved fee for that handicap parking spot permit. I worked with Commissioner Cherico and one of his constituents directly in addressing their question, what the cost involved with that and where that money goes to. It's to cover the expenses involved in the signpost, the sign itself, the paint on the ground, and our township public works employees to do the work to put that in there. With that, and the person I spoke to regarding the application fee, I explained that is the case. This is a handicap spot posted. Anyone with a handicap registration or a handicap placard, valid handicap placard, can park in a handicap spot.
Right.
The benefit of having this spot is that if you are handicapped, it is close to your home. So it's a unique thing that takes away, regular street parking and reserves it for someone with a handicap or disability that would benefit from that. So I think I answered that person's questions to her satisfaction. And I think if she had any additional information or questions on that, she was going to reach back out to Commissioner Cherico. And I haven't heard back anything else after that.
Okay, well, both of us, as I say, I believe it was Commissioner Rockington and I have had constituents for whom, they paid for it, but they seldom get to use it because it is used by so many other people. And that felt unfair. And I thought we were looking into whether we do a pool. And the idea is to get monies from, various sources or other people parking and get them to contribute to this pool.
Unfortunately, that spot is open to anyone with that placard or handicap tag, as I said,
And
right?
I'm
So
not
that's one I won't be
arguing
able to change that end of it. There's nothing I can
Of
do
course.
to prevent another vehicle from parking in that
No,
spot. And I
that's
explain
right.
that to
But
people. And I
the
understand,
financial burden
I
is
understand your
only
concern
on
that.
the one person.
Yes, we have to verify their credentialing to get that, first of all. So that's
Right.
part of that process as well. So that person submitting the application submits that paperwork to verify that that they need the spot first and foremost. So that's part of that processing leading up to that. So I'm not sure of anything else we can do to prevent that. The pooling idea, I'm not sure how that would work. We'd have to look at that, to be honest with you. As far as anything to prevent anybody doing that, as I explained to a few folks over the years about that, really the only thing that would allow someone to park there is if they had a handicap tag or if they had the handicap placard, a valid handicap placard. I understand your position. I understand their position on that as well. The benefit of having that close to your home is it's right in front of your home. Hopefully you get the chance to use it. You're right. We're getting more and more and more of these applications, as you know, through public safety in the last, 2 years, say how many we've covered and talked about here. So, it seems it is valuable. Parking is a very valuable commodity here in our towns. We all know.
Application,
with that,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, we could kick that around through staff. If there's any other options on that, I'm drawing a blank at the moment, unfortunately for you. I'd offer you a suggestion, but we could certainly do that.
Well, as I say, I think the pooling idea has some merit. I think we could probably figure out a way to make that work. But I think we're all willing to work on some alternatives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? If not, I'm going to reread 4A. Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 285, Vehicles and Traffic, Section 285-43, Street and Parking Regulations of the Cheltenham Township Code to amend traffic regulations to add handicap parking in front of 1705 Erlen Road, Elkins Park, PA. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. 4B, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 285, Vehicles and Traffic, Section 285-43, Street and Parking Regulations of the Cheltenham Township Code to amend traffic regulations to add handicap parking in front of 1703 Chelsea Road, Elkins Park. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank you. 4C. Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize advertisement of its intentions to consider the adoption of the aforementioned ordinance amending Chapter 285, Vehicles and Traffic. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4D, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize the addition of traffic calming measures to include 5 sets of speed cushions and applicable pavement markings and signage on Willow Avenue between Old York Road and Penrose Avenue to the township's traffic calming program. Any questions, comments to that, commissioners? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. 5, Citizens Forum.
Before we get to that, could I ask one quick question?
Yes,
This is of Chief Slavin and having to do with the handicap signs again. And you had mentioned that there's quite a few of them that have been coming through. Is there a system in place to review the ones that are out there to see if they are still necessary, if the residents have maybe perhaps moved from that property, but the signs still stand?
We do check on them. We do remove some of them periodically. I'm not sure when we did the last one. We have done that where a resident had passed, say, for example, or is no longer a resident of the township, and then we have removed those in the past. So we do check on those, and we do remove them when we get that information.
Wonderful. Hey, thank you so much.
okay,
Go to the
thanks.
agenda.
Ms. Melton,
Website. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year's.
same to you, thank you.
I just have a few things. One, the Chief Slavin, I thank you so much. I do notice the patrols. I don't know what was going on earlier this week, but I was kind of happy that I saw 2 police cars at that corner of Cheltenham and Penrose. It seems that there's a lot of activity that goes on between the hours of 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. And it seems to be on the corridor of Cheltenham Avenue. There's also loud music that is coming from somewhere. I don't exactly know where, but I do know that we have a new event place that opened up on Cheltenham Avenue. And when I was looking out my window to see the officers there, it seems as if there was some activity on that Philadelphia side. So again, thank you. And just to bring to your attention of whatever is starting to go on around there between 1 and 3 and the loud music. The other thing I want to bring up, just for your knowledge, is that in John Russell Park, we still have an issue of people that come from all different areas to use the park as a dog park. They don't pick up. There's nothing there like Linwood Gardens has, with the poles and the dog bags for the people to pick up. And what might be a safety issue for everybody else walking, people allow their dogs off leash. Sometimes I watch and I just get scared for the dogs, because if they hear my dog barking, they might try to run across Penrose and get hit. The other and the last thing to bring to your attention, again, sometimes around 10:30 at night, sometimes again between 1 and 3, there's loud banging. Sometimes it sounds like firecrackers, sometimes it might be gunshots. We also know that there were incidences on 74th Avenue with shootings. So I thank you for whatever patrol you put down here at this corner.
Thank you, Ms. Melton.
Thank you,
You're
sir. If I
welcome.
could comment on that as well, Commissioner, for a
Yes,
second.
go ahead.
I encourage everyone, if you have an issue, call 911. We'll have a police officer immediate respond out there, be it a noise complaint, gunshots, or whatever the concern is. Please call our officers. We're available to do that. Don't worry about the time of day. I know some people, believe it or not, call me and tell me, I don't want to bother you. We're here to serve you. So please call when you have these issues. We'll have an officer immediately respond to that location and investigate what's going on then. So please don't hesitate to call 911 when those issues occur. As far as John Russell Park with the animal control issue, I will pass this on to the animal control officer. No one should be walking the dog off leash, and they should be picking up after their animals as well. So we can do some enforcement and follow up with that, and we will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Mel. Thanks, Chief. Mr. England, thanks for being patient.
Well, good evening. I just, looking at the minutes or notes from the traffic calming committee meeting, there was an item in there that said there was what seems to be a fairly high cost to put in speed bumps in front of the school buildings. For 5 or 6 years when I was on the school board, I participated in the meetings between the liaison committee meetings between commissioners and school board directors. And we talked almost every month about concerns of speeding in school zones. It's a problem. We're all aware of it. Unfortunately, people don't understand the flashing lights are for them to slow down. I live near Myers Elementary, so I'm frequently going past Myers and I see speeding and other things. And I know that the township and the police department are working to address these. But my concern was that we had talked about the need for speed bumps, road tables, road pillows, whatever the term is. And in the minutes for the last meeting, I believe it said it would cost $100,000 to install speed bumps around our schools. That I took out of the minutes. I can pull that up. But it just seems, and it didn't seem like it was going anywhere. It seemed like the discussion turned to, we'll talk to the school district. We have 4 elementary schools. Those are the schools of primary concern. What I see happening is parents letting their children out on the wrong side of the car and a kid darting across the street. Mrs. Washington, who used to be here at Myers, would practically dive on the hood of these cars as they came flying by. So my my concern is, how could it cost $100,000 to put some speed bumps around the elementary schools? And what are the next steps going to be? When I was on the school board side, it was our belief that we were not responsible for the roads, and the school district may not be contributing towards these things. I'd like to just list this concern. But we need to do something. We need to protect these children, particularly the younger ones, because we can't seem to get the adults to.
Bill, I can comment on your concerns about our conversations with the school board. Absolutely has occurred and is occurring. Commissioner Brockington is the one who is leading the charge for the speed humps around our schools. He's the one who's proposed it at numerous public safety meetings, as you know, having dropped in and listened to these. So we are in conversation with the school district. Some of their bus patrol money that they're receiving now possibly could be earmarked to that. So we're looking at avenues to have that cost taken care of on those. So that is ongoing. That is happening right now. As far as having officers out there to watch that, we've had officers out there numerous times at various school locations on drop off and pickup. That's a priority for me. Just as that bus patrol program is. Kid safety going back and forth to school is a priority for the Cheltenham Township Police. We will address that. Again, ongoing. We have been doing that as well. As far as the public safety, or excuse me, the traffic calming committee meeting minutes, Commissioner Rappaport, I wasn't at the last. I don't know if you have any additional to answer Mr. England's question as regard to the number that was mentioned.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how it came up to that too, because I think we're talking $3,000 approximately, a speed hump plus signage plus painting.
That seems
plus,
more in line, Bill, what I was thinking as far as the
Yeah.
cost of that goes. That
Yeah.
may be an
So,
overall cost. I would
I think-
defer to the manager as well on that. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure.
think there were a number of things outlined by when the police did their studies around all the school, elementary schools.
Mhm.
They came up with a tentative plan, and there were also some elevated crosswalks involved and a couple of other items. And then I've heard, I think this board passed approved the plan.
Mhm.
But then I think in the budget, there was some discussion about where's the money going to come from? Is it in our capital budget? Isn't it? And I took away that a different conclusion from the one that we're hearing, which is that the money isn't there right now. I thought it was authorized. So I think we need to make sure that the money is lined up. And I don't have anything further to add.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. I wasn't privy to that information.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question, Mr. England.
Okay, are you good, Mr. England?
Yes, sir. Thank you all for your responses.
Okay, thank you. We're in citizens forum. Are there any other questions? Citizens forum. Commissioners, please help me out if there's any hands
No,
up.
there are no other hands.
All right, seeing no hands, I will call for the adjournment of the public safety meeting at 8:11 p.m. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Thank you.